Hello, my fellow gardening gals and guys. Welcome back to my channel, Serenity Now Garden, Zone 5A. I'm just going to show you around my garden this week for mid-June 2024. We still have that huge blue angel hosta there that's just getting bigger and bigger every week. Looks amazing. I finally planted up this bed here. This is an iresine. Really cool stems on that plant. Love it next to this little polka dot plant. And there's some coleus it has to fill in. We have a delphinium and foxtail fern up here. I just planted up this container, so it really needs to fill in, so I won't spend too much time on it now, but it has a canna and a coffee cups, olefinier in there, and some, coleus and creeping jenny, and we have the begonia hanging basket up there as well. So that should look good in a few weeks. Here's my Diablo 9-bark hedge. This is what it looked like a week ago. I missed it, but I was able to snap some pictures. But it is covered in blooms this year. I love it. Now it just rained, so they're kind of hanging a bit heavy there towards the ground. But oh my gosh, it was just amazing. And I'll kind of zoom in on one of these blooms. It kind of turns like a reddish when it's done. So these Diablo 9-barks, they can get like 10 feet tall and wide if you let them. But it doesn't get like a ton of sun here, so I keep them a little bit more trimmed. We have a clematis here. I have a couple clematis on this arbor. Only one is blooming so far. Just started. This is Villa de Leon. Very pretty. So that should fill in. Probably next week I'll show you. We should have a few more blooms. My side yard, not a whole lot that's new. We have a zebra iris here. I love it. It smells like grape soda when you walk past. Next to, we have, this is a lupin. Just kind of past its prime. And just rained, so we do have this geranium, but it's kind of looking a little wet right now. Everything's filling in over here. We have some moss and hosta and dancing queen hostas on the left. This plant looks really good right now. This is a sweet Kate Spiderwort or Spiderwort. This is a couple years old now. I think it's on its third year. It hasn't really spread much for me, so it gets, I would say, like 4 or 5 hours of sun, maybe 4 hours. Everything's filling in so good right here, though. I'll do a separate hosta video in a couple weeks, but let me show you this pink Dragon Lamium. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this as a little filler here or there. It's so, the leaves are so white and it's just so pretty. Everything's looking pretty good. We're waiting on some astilbes to bloom. We're waiting on the coneflowers. So we're kind of like in between blooms. We're still waiting on the phlox and a lot of the veronica to bloom. But I'll show you a few highlights and a few new things that I planted. So here's the Siberian Iris that's blooming right now. It's kind of covered in raindrops there, but this one's called Kaboom. I do need to keep this sprayed with deer spray so the deers don't eat the blooms off, but so pretty. And doesn't it look so good next to the Sun King aralia in the back of it? I love gold plants with like purple flowers next to it. Such a good combination. We did kind of mulch back here by these are all native elderberries in the very back. They were here. So we just kind of mulched underneath it. We have a Cardinal Flower here. This one hopefully will attract some hummingbirds. So we just started this bed just behind all these hostas, just throwing some mulch down and slowly get that planted up. So again, just waiting on a astilbe here to bloom. Another Siberian Iris next to the purple Salvia. Can't recall it's not a Caradonna. This is just like a run-of-the-mill kind that you can get at any big box store. There's some Penstemon dark towers. Right here on the left. On the right, we have some verbascum that's just kind of spent blooms right now. The spireas are looking amazing over here. Here's a candy corn spirea. I really love the blooms on this plant. Like it's just starting to bud up and I'll kind of zoom in here. It gets these like hot pink blooms when they open. It's just amazing. I love it next to the gold foliage. So pretty. Some more salvia. That's Rose Marvel. Almost spent there. I'm going to shear this back probably another week. Dogwood. And I managed to plant up my cut flower garden. So the mulch in here is all grass clippings because I had like leaves under that. But we have 5 different zinnias I planted in here, 4 rows and then one on the right as well. And as you can see, they're already starting to come up. I just put the seeds directly in the ground. So really excited about that. Here's this side bed here. Nothing's really blooming much right now except the Siberian Iris. Waiting on a lot of the Royal Candles Veronica to bloom. Here is a plant I'm really excited about. It's an annual. This is a castor bean plant. I'm going to insert a picture of what it should look like, and it's supposed to get 8 feet tall, so I cannot wait to see what happens with this. So I got it at a local garden center. And we got the buttonbush plant. And I'll show you that in a few weeks. It'll look really cool. You can see the buttons just starting to form. This plant could take a lot of water. Let me show you up front here. We have the Japanese lilac tree. I kind of just let it go wild this year, but it blooms really good every other year, and this year it is going to bloom. Now, it's not in full bloom yet. You can see all the buds. So in another week or, yeah, probably a week, next week, I'll show you guys how spectacular this plant looks. I love it, and it smells amazing when it blooms. So it's just starting to open. My front bed is a little messy right now because I still have like this, a lot of the spent alliums and the spent daffodil foliage. The daffodil foliage I have to leave for like 4 more weeks. So I'll tidy that up soon. But let me show you a few highlights in here. I do have these drumstick alliums that are going to open soon. They're just these little dainty little alliums. Can't wait to see those. These are Globemasters. They're just past their prime. Alliums are amazing this year, though. We have Atlas alliums in front that are spent, and we have some Ostara. The short ones are Ostara. And then we have a Hopi Red Dye Amaranth. This is just an annual. I just popped in there. It should look good in a few weeks. It's just kind of small right now. Oh, and the Proven Winner Sonic Bloom Weigela. Let me show you a picture of what it looked like just a week ago. I mean, it was spectacular. This was the best year for it. I think we're on its 4th year. I mean, it'll still bloom because it's a sonic bloom, so it like reblooms compared to other Weigelias, but I love this plant. I love it. And we got a mock orange back there that's just starting to bloom. Not as many blooms as last year because of the drought, I believe, from last year. So hopefully next year you'll have a lot more blooms, but so pretty. This one's called Snow White. And we got the golden smoke bushes back here. Tons of coneflowers this year. They really spread, so I cannot wait to see those. And the creme brulee potentilla looks amazing this year too. That's on its 4th year as well. We got Millennium Alliums in this bed. Those won't bloom until August. And on the side here, we just have those Silver Mound Artemisias. So that's pretty much all the highlights this week. I'll show you again next week, and I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you guys next time. Happy gardening. Take care.